It was exactly 20 years ago that a Queensland doctor, David Grunman, the head of Planned Parenthood here in Brisbane, gave a lecture at Monash called Abortion After 20 Weeks. And after I'd taken his lecture notes to the media, the ABC interviewed him. And on that interview, Dr. Grunman explained that, yes, he would do abortion after 20 weeks for minor abnormalities or the woman not knowing she was pregnant and so on. And he gave a description of something that will be reality in Queensland again. He told the ABC that his method of choice for late-term abortions after 20 weeks was called cranial decompression, and it is on the record, on the ABC, that he said the following: it is essentially a breech delivery where the fetus is delivered feet first. And then once the head of the fetus is brought down into the cervical canal, it is then decompressed with a puncturing instrument, so that it then can fit through the cervical canal, end quote. In this Parliament in 1994, the opposition health spokesman, Mike Horan, a Nationals member, said the following: "What will it mean, Mr. Speaker, for the conscience of society and its respect for law if they are vividly aware of such brutality and they see their leaders do nothing about it? More important," said Mike Horan, "what will it mean for all those defenceless babies who, unlike their peers in the hospital nurseries, will never feel a human touch except that tight grip to their legs and that sharp instrument to the back of their heads?" And he said, "Is that of no concern to the men and women in government?" End quote. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a dark, dark time, because that is of no concern to the men and women in the Labor government. Oh yes, they're very concerned about many things. They're concerned about asylum seekers, but not these asylum seekers, not these little refugees at the border of life. They will not be allowed entry under Labor. Oh, they're terribly worried about things like domestic violence, aren't they? But not this domestic violence. Not this ultimate domestic violence, where a mother and father will turn on their own flesh and blood and put it to death with Labor's blessing and funding. And the irony is they think they're striking a blow for feminism, for women everywhere. Do they not understand that this is playing into the hands of the darkest cultural forces that despise female babies? The 100 million missing girl babies in the world because of the cultural preference to kill off unwanted baby girls, like Dr. Mark Hobart met in Victoria and like we will meet in Queensland under this abominable law. Do they not understand that they are unleashing a yet greater epidemic of mental and emotional harm to women, as you heard from Emma and as I have seen in beautiful women for 25 years, who are panicked and coerced into a terrible action which creates a place of death in their bodies where there should be a place of life. And if that doesn't mess with their minds and hearts, what could? These are good people and they suffer forever, but Trad and Darth and the Premier don't seem to understand or care. So we are at a dark time. We are faced between that choice, between the life and love that is embodied in that human trinity of mother and father and baby, or the hatred and death that is embodied in this foul legislation from Labor. We salute We salute the LNP for their stand last year when this sort of law was brought. Give them a cheer. And we salute those very few faithful Labor members last year who said they would not stand alongside Labor in the Pine Bill. And so, right now, we plead with the LNP to stand again on the side of life and love against Labor's hatred and death. And above all, we plead with those very few remaining faithful Labor parliamentarians because on their shoulders hangs this entire outcome. And we say to them, we know the cost you will bear. We know what Jackie Trad will do to you if you vote against this. But maybe you were born for such an hour as this.